and I'm back like I never left. I told you I just want to talk about some of these things, before I call it just outright quits, you know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to go over, my favorite seasons in the order. Here we are, guys, you know what I'm saying? So to me, the best season of Family Matters definitely is the fourth season. I feel like it's the best of everything. It's the best of Steve Urkel. It's the best of the Winslow family. It's the best of Steve Urkel with the Winslow family. You get much interaction of Steve and Laura, you know what I'm saying, which is a win-win-win all day. But even the subject matters, coming in at number 2 for me, definitely is season 9, because it just brings everything full circle. You get Steve and Laura finally get it popping off. You know what I'm saying? You finally get Steve and Laura together, finally, but then I just feel like it's very similar to season 4, where you kind of get that family vibe, and I said, you're just seeing Steve and Laura just really just grow in love with each other, and you're just seeing it just kind of pop up. It's a great bounce back. I'm gonna get to that, but I think it's a great bounce back from season 8, where they just abandoned everything that was Family Matters. So I think season 9 definitely comes in at number 2. And at number 3 actually is season 3. Again, guys, I think, the episode's called Making the Team. That was a big episode. That's when Laura came out with her cheer. You know what I'm saying? Steve came out with his James Harden handles. Their first kiss. You get Steve and Laura's first kiss in season 3. So season 3 is a special.
Steve, were you cleaning house on your birthday?
Now, look. So season 5, I have in the 4th spot. This is such a defining moment right here between Steve and Laura. As we know, she goes out of her way, as Laura and Steve do for each other, but it's really magnified, I feel like, in this scene where she throws this birthday party for Steve when nobody else is willing to celebrate him, and she goes out of her way to celebrate him and shows how much she cares, and that was a big episode. But you have so many different ones. You have Like a Virgin. Man, you got the beginning when you know what I'm saying, when Myra and Laura's about to have some furniture moving, you know what I'm saying? You got the food fight episode. Have it, the episode, what's it called? Didn't Happen One Night, when Steve and Laura in the, they're in the hotel, and, Laura, you know what I'm saying? She kind of acting out a little bit. And Steve kind of, let his feelings out. And I just love that whole, scene by them.
Dreamed of going to the prom with you.
Guys, so this is why this has to come in. Stay with me with the numbers, but, this is why season 7, to me, comes in at number 5. Again, you don't see a lot of Steve and Laura, but, man, the moments that you have from that they have, this episode, they go to the prom together. They on the woo. They on the woo juice. You have Naked and the Nerdy, but also even it's not just about Steve and Laura, but you even have episodes, Tips for a Better Life, where what I'm saying, Kelly getting her sing on. But even in that episode where Eddie, he's starting to drink too much, and just that moment between him and his dad, it got intense. I thought that was a really good episode. You Life in the Fast Lane, Swan Lake, and a big moment I think that was really important is Laura getting accepted into Harvard, all her hard work paying off. So to me, this season 7 is definitely 5 on my list. It's in the 5th spot.
But Carl, Eddie, and Laura feel that you've
been driving us crazy.
Man, so look, we got in Steve looking, but we got in the 6th spot, the 6th season. This was a really good season. It had the some Steve and Laura moments, of course, when Steve turns into Bruce Leroy, to fight for Laura's honor. You have here when they're all going to counseling because I guess Steve is bothering them, that bad. But then, you have Miracle on M Street, where Steve, is digging in the dirt for Laura's doll. You got the gun episode, I thought a very, very touching episode, Unlikely Match, about the getting a donor. So you got Sink or Swim.
In the living room.
Yeah.
Overreact! Harriet, there's a tyrant on the
So we got, look, we got season 2 for me coming in at number 7, for this moment almost alone, right? This is probably my favorite moment of Carl. Look, there's a car, and you know what I'm saying? Like, whoever thought that they would make that sentence? Well, I guess besides, Stephanie Tanner on Full House. But anyway, but season 2, man, I have it in the 7th spot. I feel like they're still kind of, finding their place, in the show. But I mean, this episode right here, in season 2, you have Laura and Steve's first Christmas. Laura, thinks she's hooking Steve up, but then she ends up getting jealous. You have it, where I think it, upgraded Thelma Hopkins to Rachel's place. And now you kind of have this kind of cool, place. We get really good, the good fight, where, Steve and Laura are fighting to get, fighting for the right, not to party, but to have Black history. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a very good episode. Just a very, very good season.
These are for you. Wow, are you wearing a bra?
So look, man, that's a classic line right there. That's a classic line. So I got season 1 in the 8th spot, because it's the Steve Urkel comes in, and it's good. Like season 1, like I said, it's good, but there's, there wasn't a lot of direction. There wasn't a lot of creativity with some of the storylines. You have like, one episode where they're hiding a car, the antique car. Then literally the next episode, they're hiding a dog, and there just wasn't a whole lot of direction, but it was still good. Like I said before, I'm not saying Family Matters season 1 was bad. It was still good. There's just not a lot of direction. Thelma Hopkins is just kind of just wandering around the house saying random stuff, but this is the entry, right? Laura's first date, is the entry. And also, man, we can't go without talking about Kelly doing the quilt. These two right here episodes to me, like, they solidify season 1, in a nutshell. The quilt and Laura's first date are the two most powerful episodes in season 1. And it was good, man. Like I said, we got Steve Urkel and we got Steve and Laura time from season 1,
Title.
First word.
So as you see here, we have season 8 in the 9th spot. I feel like I said from number 1, which was season 4, to number 9 on my list, which is actually season 8. It's like from, best to worst, and season 8, now let me say this. Season 8, it was a bad season. It was, I mean, you didn't even have Jaleel White in the first 12 episodes of season 1, and I would still put season 1 before season 8, and I think the main reason why is, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to be like, it's Steve and Laura time, you know what I'm saying? But if you notice in this season, they completely abandoned that Steve and Laura storyline. And what happens? Again, it's very familiar to season 1 where there's just not a lot of direction, right? And so when I say that season 8 is bad, I mean, think about it, guys. They end the season fighting on a pirate ship. It's just kind of like, what's up with that? Like, that's kind of what, season 8 is. So yeah, I have it in the 9th spot. You know what I'm saying? Those are my rankings of the best seasons of this great show. That was my, my list, my little rundown, of the seasons, of Family Matters. And like I said, I'm just putting it up against itself. I'm not putting it up against TV. Family Matters, any season is better than majority of what's on TV now. But I would end it by saying I think there's 2 things that I really learned from this whole experience. It was just so fun. I just had a ball absolutely doing this because it's one of the greatest shows of all time. Was as you saw with the videos, and some of you like, why did you did Steve and Laura and then you did Steve and Laura and then you did Steve and Laura, and it's like, because the one thing that I noticed and the biggest thing that I took away from this is how much Jaleel and Kelly individually and as a dynamic duo, how much they actually impacted this show. Like they're the show. It's the foundation. It's the heart. It is the soul of the show. You know, Steve and Laura, they make you feel. You know, something like I don't care about Steve and Laura. When I watch them, they make me angry. They make you feel, right? Whatever that emotion is, they make you feel. And it really just opened up my eyes to be like, wow. Like, and so a lot of people think, you know, that I went into this with Steve and Laura on the brain. It's like, not at all. I went into it just like, oh, let me just go over these Family Matter videos. But in the process of that, like, God just like opened up my eyes and was like, whoa, you know, and I saw this beautiful connection and this beautiful relationship. And then even just them individually, you know, Kelly individually, you know, Jaleel individually, like what they gave to the show, the contributions that they gave to the show is really what helped keep it afloat. And then just their chemistry, their, you know, I call them the dynamic duo. You know what I'm saying? They're what they brought when they come together, you know, as Steve and Laura, and what they, you know, built as that, guys, was the foundation, the heartbeat of the show. And I know the producers didn't know that. I'm just thinking when they signed little baby Kelly, did they know she was gonna turn into all that gorgeousness? Did they know that? You know what I'm saying? You know, and the same thing with Jaleel. Just like, oh my gosh, the man gorgeous too. You know, I mean, like, and so when you see beautiful, you know, couple that they never had in mind from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like Steve and Laura, you know, best way to say it, Steve and Laura, they're such a treasure. They're really such a treasure. Overall, Family Matters is just it's such a phenomenal show. You know, and let me say this real quick, because this really irritates me. You know, I see a lot of these countdown of sitcoms, of black sitcoms, and it'll be the top 10 or whatever. And there are so many of these countdowns that Family Matters is not on. Like, it baffles me how much Family Matters gets slept on even today. You know, and one of the shows I see that really just upsets me. I like the show, but it just upsets me that it gets put before Family Matters all the time. And that's the show Mo to the E to the, like, it gets put before Family Matters so often, and it baffles me. Because I'm like, guys, what do you think Moesha is? It's like an urban version of Family Matters. That's what it is, right? You have Moesha, you know, and I know some would say, well, no, because the show was kind of geared around, Moesha or Brandy. And I'm like, guys, if we really pay attention, what is the difference between Moesha and Laura? This is why I keep saying, you know, people really do not give Kelly the credit she deserves for her role. Her role is a lot bigger than people notice, right? But look, what was the difference between Moesha and Laura? What was the difference, right? You're watching Moesha in her home life with her family, the interaction with her family. Then you're seeing the interaction with, you know, her friends. Then you're seeing the interaction with her at school. How was that different from Laura? Or, you know, and Moesha, her love life, right? Her friends, her love life. So you got Moesha, the home life. You got Moesha, the love life. You got Moesha, the kind of school life, right? What is the difference in Laura? You have Laura, the home life. You have Laura, the love life. We were all up in Laura's Kool-Aid, all up in her business, right? And then we saw her in her school life. So really, when you look at it, what is the difference between Moesha and Laura? There isn't one. Besides the fact that you say, oh, well, the show's called Moesha, right? I keep saying that. That's why Kelly's role is a lot bigger than people notice. You know, and then you have the next door neighbor in Hakeem. And who did, Moesha end up with? Hakeem. He comes over in the morning kind of thing. You have the family dynamic. And it just upsets me because it's like, Moesha is nothing but an urban version of Family Matters. If you really pay attention to it, like I said, with Laura, we cared more about her love life than we did anybody else on the show. You know what I'm saying? You had Laura, you had Eddie. We didn't care about Eddie's love life. We didn't, you know what I'm saying? Now, the difference with Moesha is Moesha's the older sibling, and then her brother is the younger, sibling. So no, you ain't really kind of caring what Miles is doing. You know, he a little young, but it upsets me because it's like these shows get credit over Family Matters when I feel like they're birthed out of Family Matters. Like what, like, you know what I'm saying? And it just upsets me. But Family Matters, period, point blank, was one of the greatest shows of all time. Period. Nothing can change that. What is your purpose? What was your purpose for this? And one of them is for that exact word. If I can encourage one person to understand that God has a beautiful purpose for their life, then that, and I'm sure I did that to some degree, right? And then that's what I wanted to do is change somebody's perspective and not believing that their life doesn't matter, that nobody cares about them. You know, there is a God that cares about you, that sent his son, Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying, to be the sacrifice, you know, for us. You know, and that's why the Bible says God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him shall not perish, right, but have everlasting life, you know, and it's tied into that. Your purpose is tied into that, you know, and I just want people to know the gospel of Jesus Christ, you know, and that it's the greatest decision that you will ever make, but also that you have a purpose. Your life matters, you know, and a lot of us, we don't walk around not feeling like our life matters and not feeling like we have purpose because we're not connected to the greatest purpose, you know what I'm saying, which is Jesus, you know, which is the Lord. And when we're not connected, you know, to our creator who created us, we're going to wander. We're going to not know who we are. You know, we're going to be less than ourselves. We're going to be less than our best, you know. And so I just wanted to encourage you in that. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Is one of my favorite rappers. Either this life is meaningless or its meaning is eclipsed by a series of events that satisfies for the moment. But once your moment is past, your moment's the past and poof. Dude, you can't revive it or hold it. You're born, you suffer, you die when you're older. But there's a loophole. I wouldn't lie to my soldiers. Know what I lie to my sisters. God is my witness. Jesus Christ is the only escape from out of your prison. Let's go.